All right, so welcome back to Genius. Now let's talk about modules in Python. We most programming languages have what we call modules. We have modules in JavaScript, we have modules, but the thing is that each and every one of them have different ways of implementing modules. And modules in Python is very, very easy to implement. Okay, so let's get into it. What is a module in Python? A module is just a Python file that contains Python code. It contains functions, it contains variables, it contains classes that can be reused in other Python programs. So I can have a Python file that I have some variables, I have some functions, I have some classes that I want to reuse in other Python programs. So the file extension is .py, just like the normal file, Python file. So modules allow code reusability and organization. Okay, so let me give you an example. If I have, now look at this Python file. I have this folder called module. Inside of it, I have the mode.py file. I have a variable called full name. I have a function called greet, and I have a class. So now I can reuse this variable in another Python file, this greet in another Python file. All I have to do is I can also come here and say main.py. So in this main.py, I can just come here and import, I would import I will import mode. I will import mode, and I can go on and say print mode dot full name. Do you understand? If I go on now and run this Python code, all right, you can see now a printed person here. So what have I done here? I simply, this full name is coming from another file, this mode file. That is why I declared it. All right. And here I am reusing it. So I can have a couple of things here that I can use in any other Python program. So here, all I have to do is to import it, and then I can now call the mode, the name of the module, then dot the whatever I'm looking for. So I can also go on and say, I want to call the greet function. I can say mode.greet. Okay. And once I do this, hit play, okay, it says hello person because that is what we have here. So basically, what I'm trying to say here is that I have some variables, some methods, some functions, some classes in a separate file, and I can reuse it in another Python program. All right. So it allows for code reusability. Okay. I can use it a couple of places. So instead of rewriting the same code in multiple files, I can just import it. So I can also come, let's assume I have another, uh, let's assume I have another file here. I'll call it, I don't know what to even call it. I can just say hmm, m.py. Okay. So if I still want to make use of any of the variables or functions in the mode module, I can just come here and do the same thing. I can just say mode.greet. So you can see I will have this module somewhere, and I can reuse it in separate Python programs. Okay. And look at it. All right, it's printed. Do you understand? So that is exactly what we are doing in with module. So you can have variables, functions, and classes in a separate file, and you can reuse them in other Python programs. So here, Python has many built-in modules like the math module, the random module, the datetime. I believe you have seen the math module. I believe you have also seen the random module where we use the random module to generate random numbers. So all the functions, all the variables that are necessary to make the random module work is inside the random module. Then you cannot import it. So here we can import math and make use of any program in math. So in case I want to make use of any module in the math, I will say import the math module. All right. So I can go on and say print math dot square root. So the math has a lot of methods. All right. I want the square root of 25. I can go on save, and I can go on and run this code. It gives me 5.0. Okay. All right. So this is how you use modules. So why do we use modules? Benefits of using modules. All right. Reusability. You write something once. You might write some classes, you might write some functions, you might write some variables in one part, just once, and you can reuse them. You saw me using, you saw this module, this function, the what I have here, you saw me using it in the main.py and also in the m.py. So I have it somewhere and I can reuse it in other files. Organization, it keeps your code clean and very readable. All right. Instead of me to have all of my code in one file, I can just break them down into logical, relatable codes, and then it helps me with organization. It helps with maintainability. So in case you have any bugs, when you have so many codes in one file, it's actually hard to find the bugs. Collaboration, you can also collaborate with other developers. In short, you can actually write a module, all right, and 1 million developers in your team can actually use them. Do you understand? So it allows for collaboration between multiple developers. So instead of rewriting a calculation function in multiple files, you can actually put them in a module. So look at this calculator. So I can go on now. I can create a module. I can create a module called calculator. So all the calculator functions, the add, the sum, the whatever can always be here. So I can come and say, I can define and say def add. I will add first number, second number, okay? And then I can go on and say, or I can go on and say return. If I want to return it, I can return fn plus sn. Do you understand? I can create another one. I can create another one. I will say sub, all right, subtract, and then I will say fn sn. And what am I? I will just return. I will return fn minus sn. So I have this calculator module now. So I can create this. Let's assume in our development team, they asked me to create a create calculator. So I will create all the function multiplication, subtraction, addition, division, all of them, and then other developers can actually come and use it. So if they want to use it, all they have to do is to do import calculator. Visual Studio Code is actually giving IntelliSense. I can now come and say, sum is equal to calculator dot add. All right. I want to add 3 and 8. So if I go on and print sum, it will print it for me. So let me use the terminal this time around. I'll open the terminal. So I'm just going to say Python main.py. I hit enter. It says no file. Oh, okay. Sorry. So I will have to do cd module to go to the file. Okay, so what did I do? The system cannot find the path. CD. I have this is module now. Oh, sorry. It should be CD Python slash module. All right. Oh, sorry. Instead of I did not put n. So okay, so we are now in the module. So I can go on and say Python main. Sorry, Python main.py, and it runs it for me. It gives me 11, 3 plus 8. So now, but if you want to run the terminal in your Visual Studio Code, make sure that you're on the where the file is. So the file is in the module, and the module is inside the Python, and it's inside here. So that was the mistake I was making here. Make sure that you are in the folder where you have the file. Okay. So you can see here now in the main module, all we have to do is to import the calculator, and then we can make use of the functions. We can make use of anything, the variables, the functions, the classes in the calculator. All right, so somebody might have written it for us, or we might have written it for somebody else. So it will be easier for people to collaborate. It will be easier. I don't need to be rewriting my calculator functions every time. So I can just write it somewhere and I can reuse it. I can give it to other people to reuse. So we have some built-in modules that come with Python. They are pre-installed. Something like the math, the random, the date time, the operating, the OS. So if you want to use them, how do you use modules? You just say import, then the module name. You have seen that already. User-defined modules. Modules you create yourself are user-defined modules. Built-in modules are the ones Python pre-installed for you when you installed Python. So you just have to create a file with functions and classes, just the normal Python file, and then that is it. You can now import and use it in other programs. That is what you have seen me done here already. So, example, we have the greetings.py. This is the user-defined module. So we have the hello. So inside of the main.py, we are not calling it. We are not using. So we are saying import greetings. This is exactly what we have done in the examples I have shown you already. Okay. So all you have to do is to import the module name. That's the module name is actually the file name. Look at it. I'm importing the calculator here, and the calculator is actually the name of the file. Look at it, this calculator. The calculator is the name of the file, but you don't have to include the .py. Do you understand? So we have basic imports. The basic one is just to say import module name, import calculator, import math, import random, import whatever the module name is. So we also have, if I want to import specific functions or specific variables, I don't need to say import the module name. I will say from the module name, I want to import the particular variable or function that I need. So in this calculator now, if I don't want to import all everything inside of the calculator, I just want to import the add function, I would say from calculator import add. Do you understand? And once you do that, you don't have to do the calculator.add anymore. You can just use the function directly like this. So look at the syntax here. You say from the module name, then import the function or the variable you want to make use of. Do you understand? So this is how you do it. You don't, but the normal one is import calculator. When you say import calculator, you are importing everything inside of all the variables, all the function, all the classes inside of the module. But if you say from the module name, import a particular variable, a particular function, a particular class, then you're just importing one particular thing, not all of them. So here we are importing the square root method. So we cannot make use of it. So there is no need to say math the square root. It's only square root, okay? So we can also import with alias. You can give the module name another name. You can give it a nickname. So I can say import math as M. All right. So if I go on now, I can say import calculator. Let's assume now that this calculator is too long for me to be typing every time. I can say import calculator as Cal. All right. Then I can now come and say, you can see now this add is giving us error because we don't have it. I can now say cal dot add. Do you understand now? So this is an layer. This is a nickname. So instead of me to be typing calculator that is very long, I can just say cal. So I have renamed it somehow inside of this my file. Okay. So we also have where you import all functions in a module. So if you want to import everything in a module, just have to say from the module name, then import asterisk. Instead of to say import. Now, remember when we wanted to import one single thing, we said from from calculator, import add. Now, this is when you want to import just one. But in case you want to import everything inside of it, you can say import asterisk. Do you understand? So we can go on and say add, it is fine. I can also say sub, it is fine, because with this declaration here, I'm importing both the add and the sub functions. And everything that is inside of the calculator, I'm importing it here. So I can make use of them and I will not have any error. All right. So if you want to know if you want to understand all the attributes, everything that the function contains, you can use the dir function to get it. So if I want to get more all the information about this particular calculator function, what I will do is this. After I've imported it, I can come here and say print dir, then the name of the function, the name of the module. So I'll take this guy out. All right. So if I run this code now, look at it. It is giving me everything inside of the module. But the thing is that when you look at this, I don't know if I expand this. So when you look at this, you will see there are more. This is a user-defined module, the one I created. But you can see that the sub and the add is here. But there are other methods that are here. Do you understand? So these ones, every Python module have all these things. So the doc, the name, the loader, the file, they have all these things. Then, in addition to the one that we added, all right? So I can also go on and say, I want to import, what do we have there? We have the mode. I import mode, and I want to know, instead of calculator, I want to know all the details of this. So if I go on now and run again, you can see what we have here. Look at the specific things. We have the full name and the grade. Okay, we have the full name and the grade, but the class is not coming up. The class is not coming up. We know we have a class in this mode file, but okay, maybe it's because of, okay, maybe let me change this into something like okay, let me change it to something like mode class. Let's see. So I will run again and see. All right. But now it's like, okay, look at it, printed the class. Okay, look at it. It was even printed. The classes are printed. So it's like the classes are printed first, even before the mode class came. So here I renamed it and it also came. So you see the class, you see the variable, you see the method. So if you want to know the details, what a module contains, the functions, the variable, the classes, you can actually use this. Let me reduce the font. You can actually use this dir method to get it. So here we are importing the math and we are checking all the list. We are checking everything that the math contains. So we have the maths module that is built in. It contains every mathematical operation that you want to perform in Python. It is inside of the math module. We have the random module that we use to generate random number. We have the date time. If you want to work with date and time in Python, Python has created all the functions, all the classes that we use to work with date time. Anything that you have to do with date time. If you want to work with the operating system, you use the OS module. If you want to work with the system-specific parameters, you use the sys module. Okay, so now let's import the math module and print the square root, factorial, and pi value. I'm going to leave you to do this. All right, I have already done the square root. So you can look for the factorial. You can also do the pi. Okay, but let's go and do it. So in the main, I'm going to import math. All right. So I'm going to print the square root of a number. So I'll say math dot square root of 64. All right. I can also, if I go on, it will give me it will give me 8.0. All right, it will give me 8.0. I can also, it said we should do the factorial. I can also say factorial. Now with the Visual Studio Code, it gives you IntelliSense. I can say factorial of what? Of 2, sorry, of 2. I save it and then I run. It gives me factorial of 2 is 2, all right? Factorial of 5 will give me something else. Will give me that. Is this 20 or 24? 120. Okay. Another thing that we should do is so we can also print the pi value. Math.pi is actually a constant. It's actually a variable. So math.pi will give me the pi value. All right. So we have, you can also import the random module. So this is what I want you to do. Import the random module, print out all the methods, all the things that it have using the dir method, then generate a random integer between 1 to 50. Generate a random integer between 1 to 50. Okay, you can also create your own module, greetings.py, with a function greet with a parameter name that returns a greeting and use it in a main. So I want you to practice this yourself. Create a module, all right, your own module called greetings.py. Then create a function. The name of the function is going to be greet. This greet will take a parameter and then use it in another module. You have seen me do this already here. Okay, so then use the dir method to explore functions in the datetime module. Try to import the datetime module and use the dir method to explore it. I have done these things already, so I just wanted to practice it, okay? So in summary, a module is a reusable Python file with functions, variables, or classes. Python has built-in modules and supports user-defined modules. Modules make code clean, reusable, and maintainable. Used import, okay, for basic module import. Use from module name, then import whatever you want to import, and you can also use aliases, okay? So thank you very much. If you're confused, please reach out to the community, talk to us to WhatsApp group, and you can even reach out to me personally, okay? Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next class.